And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Ahoy there, matey! It's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be shoving our friends left and right, onto the plank, off to the plank, into the sea, getting eaten. We're going to be charging and pushing people. We're going to be pulling people back to the ship. Sometimes we hit ourselves into the ocean. All sorts of crazy randomness with Walk the Plank from 3 to 5 players from MayDay Games. This is a sort of a follow-up to the popular game called Get Bit, which I've reviewed and liked very much. So let's check it out and see how this is different. Do I like it more or less than Get Bit? Let's take a look and I'll show you what I think. All right, Walk the Plank for 3 to 5 players. It's set up for 3 players here. We have Davy Jones's locker, which is where people get eaten when they fall off the plank. There's 3 planks and the ship. Each person gets a set of 10 cards of their color, and we got the randomly assigned start player marker here. Everybody will take their deck, and each person is going to select 3 cards from their deck and put them in order, sort of 3 programmed moves face down, and then they will begin to reveal. 3 of these cards are shove cards. Shove right, shove left, or shove anyone. The right and left is the person sitting to the right or the left of you, and you get to shove them, assuming you have a guy on the spot of them. Shove everyone is picking anyone. Okay, so if I had played one of these, let's say shove right. If I was here, pretty much everybody here is from different colors, so probably the person sitting to my right was one of these colors. I could shove them, let's say it was blue, to here. Now, if the person to my right was not blue, but let's say I had played shove left and the person was here, I could push them over here and so on and so forth. If I had like this and there was no one to shove, the card has no effect and you can't shove yourself. So charge, you can't play it as your first card of the round, but allows you to go forward 1 and then push somebody the next spot. So if I wanted to charge, I could charge to here and then it would push this guy out 1 like this. Now, if I was the only guy here at this time and I had a shove, well, I had a charge, you have to try to charge. So let's say these guys are back here and this was my turn, I played charge. I would have to charge and push my own guy even though I don't want to. If it looked something like this, and I charged, I would charge here and I could pick either one of these guys to push. If I was started like here and I charged and I pushed this guy, he would be dead, eaten by Davy Jones's locker. The next 2 cards you see are drag to sea and pull to ship. So dragging obviously is you go and you drag someone with you towards the sea and you pull someone with you towards the ship. So in this case, I could drag someone to sea. So I could drag this guy here, or I could drag any one of these guys a little bit closer. Or if I really want to be mean and it made sense, sometimes you might even want to drag yourself to sea and kill somebody if it's the last player of a different color. Pulling them towards the ship, in this case, I could pull this guy towards the ship like this. Sometimes it's really good if you play that and you've got 2 guys, you can drag your own guy back to the ship. 2 more cards is I Don't Want to Die, which allows you to run 1 or 2 towards the ship, and run around goes 1 way forward or 1 way back. So the I Don't Want to Die, I could have moved this guy back to the ship. The run around, I would have moved him back too, but sometimes it makes sense to move him forward so that your next card that you play would do something, hopefully maybe push somebody else in, something like that. And the last two I'm going to show you is extend the plank and retract the plank. They're pretty self-explanatory. So here I could, if I had played the retract the plank, this would go away and he would die. And if I had played extend the plank, then it would go up like that. There can never be less than, all the planks there. There still has to be 1 plank there. So 3 of these cards have a skull marker on them, which means once you play them, you cannot pick them up at the end of that round. They have to stay out for 1 additional round, meaning that you can't play these cards in 2 rounds consecutively. All right, let's say we're in the middle of a game here, and we'll just play 1 round through to show you how it works. And so orange is the play leader, and so they'll play their first programmed move, which is retract the plank, which these guys probably knew that was coming. These get retracted, oh no, these guys die. And then blue would be next, and blue plays retract the plank. Oh no, he probably thought he was going to be gone by there. Oh man. And the next player plays pull towards the ship. So maybe he pulls the green guy towards the ship. Boom, like that. The orange guy will play charge. Oh no! And he has to, boom, knock his own guy in, which I'm sure he did not want to do. Then the next blue guy, I don't want to die. He would run two towards the ship, but his guy's already died, and he's already at the ship, so that does no effect. The green guy then goes charge. So the green guy's gonna boom, charge and throw this guy in the ship. And then it's the orange's last move, and he shoves left. The player to his left is blue. So this guy shoves the blue guy here. The blue guy plays his last card. Shove right, shoves the guy orange, but he's not on any spots where he could shove somebody that's orange, so no effect. And then the green guy plays his last card. Drag to C. Oh, so he could drag this guy towards the sea, but maybe he decides to kill himself to now eliminate blue from the game. So that's the end of that round. This would pass counterclockwise, and then it would start clockwise playing the cards. So the person who played last is the person who plays first the next round. And anybody that played cards that have skulls on them, this guy played 2 of them, this guy played 1, would stay out there, and they would get all their other cards back to start a new round. These are the ones they can't play next round. They'd pick them up at the end of next round. This would go on until there's only 2 colors left, and then these 2 colors would continue with their cards till all their cards are gone for that round. And if they're both alive at the end, they both win. If one of them's alive, this guy would win. And if they're all dead, nobody wins. All right, well, there is Walk the Plank. All right, so what do I think? Well, it is just a silly, fun, quick, zany game. If you're in the mood for something light that doesn't take more than, say, 25 minutes to play, 15 to 25 minutes, depending on the amount of players, and you're ready for some randomness and guessing this and that and just kind of seeing what it is for all fun, it's kind of like, Robo Rally meets, I don't know, Get Bit maybe. It's just kind of silly and fun. You will laugh a lot with this game. You'll throw some cards down, you'll expect some things to happen, and nothing that you planned usually ever happens. Just crazy things happen, like you end up pushing yourself in the ocean, or just things change and you'll laugh. It's light. It's a good starter game in the beginning of a night to play, or at the end that you'll just get some laughs. It's a good solid filler game. It's just, some people might not like the randomness, but it's not to be taken too seriously. But it is fun. Now, between this and Get Bit, they are different. Get Bit has a little bit more, I would say, deduction to it, because you can see a lot of information. You're trying to guess which numbers to play. And there's more deductive element there, which I tend to really like deductive elements. Where this one is a little more random, where sure, you might be able to see some cards that people can't play because they have those skulls on them and they can't play them around after they play them. But it's really more random. But it doesn't make it less fun, because when the random things happen, you think something's going to happen and it's just funny. So I can't say that I like Get Bit better than this. I might like this a little better, even though there's less deductive and it's more random, which is weird because I usually like less randomness and more deduction. This way, I mean, they're both good. I like them both. I'll probably bring them both out for the same similar situations, but this is just a different take on it. I think there's room for both of those in your collection. So if you're looking for a small filler that's not very expensive, that's easy to get, you got to check out Walk the Plank.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.